We slid our 2-inch boring bar in here, and we got our tailstock set up. We are hanging off about 4 inches or so, a little bit less than half of the tailstock hanging off the end. And we're going to be pulling these jaws off so that we have room. In my experience, we got pretty close to almost 3 foot out here in the center of the bar each way. So this is basically about a 6 foot span. And you're going to put a tool bit right here at 3 in the center and try to cut. You're going to have vibration, and so we need to create some kind of additional support to this bar to help it get through this. And I'm going to fabricate a cap with a bushing to go over both ends of the tube, so that as this slides this way, this bearing will be running off that direction, and this bearing here will be riding on, and they'll complement each other. And I think this is the only chance that we can get through this big tube, and that's what I'm setting it up for the big tube first, because I know it's going to be the problem child. Now we have our threaded inserts, square inserts, and we're going to be running one of 3 of these inserts here, and these are made up for boring bars. And this is a TSA. It's almost straight on the lead angle. Here's a TSC, which is about a 30-degree angle, and then a TSE, which is almost a 45-degree angle to the part as it comes around. All right. Now these will slip in and be anchored down in the holder and adjust. We got to cut some height off of here, and you know, I wish these were about a ½ an inch longer. They'd work more or work better for my application. But we can just shorten up this adjustment tube right here, and we'll be perfectly fine. And we'll slip that into the holder. All right. So what we're doing now is I'm going to go ahead, and we got this kind of back comfortable where I know that it's going to be. Oh, and the end bushings are going to be made up. We have some I call this tooling. These are just small chunks of material I have in stock. This one here will be bored to slip over there. This one will be turned to slip in there, and this 660 bronze will be turned for a bushing, and they'll just be, oh, I don't know, they could be ½ inch, 3/4 inch wide bushings they'll ride on the bar. Now you're going to say, how are you going to get to your bit? Well, we're going to make some kind of an opening in here like this so that we can see and everything. But we're going to have a series of tightening screws, and this is going to snug fit to the OD. We're going to dial the bar to the OD of this end of the tube, and we're going to dial that to that end of the tube. And we're going to check that along so that we know that the bar is going concentric with the OD. These will locate on the OD, so we can even undo them, slide them back, adjust our tool, slide them back, tighten them down, make our cut. We don't have to have a whole bunch of material come out of here. Probably, I think it's a 1/16 of an inch undersize right now. And I think we need to open it up, probably that, plus whatever we want for clearance to compensate for the 2 welds that are going to go down the full length of the tube, because I think that's how they plan on welding them in. So anyhow, let's go ahead and draw in. We're just drawing in a tool bit circle here for an insert, just making sure that we have basically full travel all the way down the carriage. We've already been oiling and moving our carriage back and forth, so it's well lubed up for the whole run. And that's going to be hanging out about 3 inches or so. That's plenty. That's we're on the other side of that tool bit. That's about equal right there. We actually got 4 inches here. That's going to be perfect. That'll be 3 inches over here, 4 inches over there, and we can swing the tool bit through, and we'll be able to have our bearings support on each end. Alright, so I can pull this out of here, and we're going to start manufacturing the bearing caps for there, and the bar will go over into the Bridgeport, and we can start putting the tool bit insert in there, and that mark is good. We're going to use that one. Okay, here I'm friction driving. I have a slug tightened in the chuck, and the slug is sitting over that, and then I have the bell center in this end, so I can turn a finished OD diameter there. Alright, we've I just mic'd this up, and we are sitting here miking about 2 thousandths press fit for our diameter now. And this is bronze. We can work this, hand work it, sand it, file it, and that kind of thing if we want to bring it down a little bit more. That's not a bad press fit there for the aluminum that's going on. I'm going to probably polish it a little bit before I actually drop it out of here. I'm going to take a clean face cut on here, and then we're going to start a parting right in the middle. Then we're going to take it out of the setup and hold it individually and come back in and part that off. The reason why I'm skimming this here is so that I can put a dial indicator across the face of it with it sticking out of the jaw and know that I get it square. I was wondering why I wasn't even up down on it. Okay, it's good enough there. Alright, now we're going to put the parting tool in. Now I'm not, I don't believe I'm square, so I'm going to go ahead and have to square this off of the jaw here. See if I can come in there. Alright. Now I'm going to go ahead and I'm just putting a Sharpie mark here for, it's 2 1/4, so 1 1/8 is dead nuts. Bring that down to my parting tool. And we're gonna shoot in there because we'll have extra on each side to go ahead and face off for exactly 2 1-inch pieces, what we're gonna strive for. Don't ever want to take a chance on pinching this together and breaking off a parting tool. And we're going to continue parting, so I'm just going ahead and backing off the tailstock here. Alright, and that's not too long. Alright, this is the slug, and we just happened to find this piece here. In fact, it's kind of rough and everything else, but it was the right size to hold that. That was pretty cool. Alright, now we're going to go ahead and we're going to open up and we're going to chuck on this, but we're going to leave enough room to part that off. When you're putting something in the 3-jaw and you want it to be pretty true, rotating it as you tighten will tend to make it align itself. Turn bronze much faster, but I don't like it flying all over the place because I actually save it. And one of my key things that I keep it from really flying around is I got a magnet, and I stick that there and then put the brush right here so the bristles just interfere with the chips flying, and works out really good. Alright, now this is spaced off the thickness here, so we're going to go ahead and we're just going to dress this off a little bit here. And of course the inside is not finished board yet. A little chamfer on here. Alright, we're going to go ahead and get the other one in here now and bring it down to width. we're getting pretty close, so I want to get in here with a pair of snap gauges. Alright, looks like 30 more. And we took 15. We're hoping, you know, we got to still press this in the bore. It may shrink just a tiny bit, but we'd like to see a thousandth over the boring bar or so. And we're looking for 202 or 201, somewhere around in there, and we got 2 inches on the money here. Let's mic the shaft here, see what we got. Okay, we're actually miking 2 thousandths under 2 on the shaft, so we're gonna leave this just like this for right now. We're gonna be pulling this out, checking the fit on the shaft. And we can stick it back in here and take another light skim if we want to. We're going to stick the other one in here and go ahead and rough it out to this size right here. Right now we don't want to blow the chips into our scroll or anything right now. Bronze is this kind of thing all the time. And after we get done with these 2 items right here, we will pull the scrolls completely apart, or chuck out of the scroll, and then blow it clear, and then put them back in there for the holding the bar on our next setup. I like that. We get this under. You know, we get it pressed into the housing. We get this jack screwed onto the piece. This is actually going to be a good fit, and all we need is a good enough fit to surpass the support of the bar, meaning create enough pressure on the bar to keep from vibrating. And that's all we're trying to do, is guide the bar through that part without vibrating. I like that. All right. We may go in there and just kiss an angle on each one of those in the small south end right there. Back to getting the other one done. This is why you need a big press, so that when all your other stuff is on it, you can still use it. Alright, we're getting ready to drill the hole and put in the insert here. But we just went ahead and we slid our 2 bearing supports on here. And we can already feel that right in here, somewhere on the bar, has got to have it's on the other side there. It needs to have a little polishing done there. And that's good though. There's a little tiny bit of play and motion in there, but we're gonna be putting in 2 oil holes, and we're gonna have 3 jack screw tensioning locks on the sides here. But we're gonna be pretty good. I'm real happy with what we got out of just a couple pieces of junk laying around the shop here. A couple pieces of tooling. All right, now let's go ahead and we're gonna set up on our hole here. Now we've already been zeroed off of the vise there, but we're going to go ahead and we're going to come down over here and we're going to hit the side of our bar and then verify that you know, we can find center of the bar here as well. All right, so I like a high speed. This is like 660 RPMs or so. It kind of gets a better action on the wiggler or the center finder. All right, we're going to come down here about 1.25 inches from the top there. so we know that we're going to be riding on the side. And then we just, it's almost still now. There, it starts to kick. We're going to do it one more time. There, it kicks. Alright, 244. Now we're zeroing. Now we're going to try it again. And it kicks and we're at 0. Alright, so we're going to call that 0. Yeah, we had moved our vise and stuff here, and we also had a power outage, and I wasn't quite sure. And I wanted to make sure about being back on center. Alright, so we crank in our 250. The width, half of the width of this, alright. Now half of the width of the bar. There. 1 inch. And there we go. Now I turn this around the other way, and yeah, it looks good. We're just we want it in that position there. All right, now we're ready to go ahead and start drilling our hole. Now this is an oddball size, so we went ahead and we picked up a reamer for this because we do want a tight fit hole, and this is a 19/32 reamer. All right, so we're going to go ahead and we're going to drill down through there, and then we're going to give it a reamed hole. That's one thing about these tool bit inserts, and you want a good sliding fit for these things. And then we'll be rotating the bar. Now I'm going to show you how we're going to drill this location right here, and then we're going to roll the bar, and I'm going to be able to locate exactly 90 degrees to come in for the set screw on the side for locking down the tool bit. Now what I like to do is I like to go ahead, and this is just loose here. Okay, I went ahead and got this is a V-block, Starrett V-block, and I'm bringing it in here, and this is the clamp for the top. Alright, now I'm taking a square coming off the table, and I'm making sure that the side of the V-block is perfectly square with the table. Just using the square. Alright, now once I'm sure I've got it square, which it looks like right there, then I go ahead and I tighten this thing up so it doesn't accidentally move, and I verify that on a couple different spots. Alright, I'm happy with that. Alright, now we know that that's square with that hole right there. After we finish drilling that hole, then we're going to go ahead and we're going to rotate this 90 degrees, and we'll be able to square the bottom with the table. And that's how I'm able to rotate 90 degrees on a shaft and keep it, you know, relatively close in a quick setup here. I've been giving it a try. Instead of doing center drills, I've been trying these starter drills or spot drills, whichever way you want to call them. You know, this one here happens to be from France, and this was sent to me by one of my subscribers, and I have been trying them, and I've been trying some others that I actually had in some of these other toolboxes here, and I've been satisfied with locating my holes. So you know, you can teach an old dog new tricks, that's for sure. All right. You just gotta teach him to tighten up that chuck enough, I guess. Alright, I'm going to change it over to the regular 3/8 now. And then after that, we're going to go to just under the reamer size. little bit better without the flats on. You know, the flats I have on there were for brass or bronze. Keep it from grabbing. And this one here is a standard grind on it. It does look like one flute's a little stronger than the other one. Hello.
And you keep out looking at you.
Okay. Alright, now we should be able to run the reamer in there, and but really we may let's see, what diameter is that? Okay, we're gonna have to put in the 7/16 collet because I know we're not gonna be able to drop that down far enough, and it probably is better to run it in the collet anyway. Okay, and I got this thing about running reamers really slow. They just cost too much to wipe them out. Feels pretty good. Not really forcing it. It is taking some all the way around. Okay, that'll press in there, but we want to go ahead. Probably run a little flapper wheel through here when we get this turned around. It is going to be a good fit. But that's what we want. We want it to be a nice snug fit. You don't want a tool bit rattling around. When you adjust it out, you want it to be pretty solid. And this is, you know, you want that square in there to be just like it's part of the bar. So I'm happy with that. We'll work on that. That was the wife calling for dinner anyway.